First of all, let's welcome Professor Massimo Filippini in Madrid in the third workshop of Economic Challenges for Energy held in Fundación Ahorro. And if you wish, we're going to start with the first question, which is, related to household energy consumption or energy use. The first one is, how large is the potential of energy conservation in household?
At the European level, we can say that is around 20–25%. This is what you can find in official documents from the European Commission. And we have done a study in order to identify, using some new approaches, the level of the energy inefficiency. And we come also to this number, roughly 20–25%. This is the potential of improvement in energy efficiency that we could reach given today's technology.
Perfect. The second I would ask, what are the means that can we use to achieve this goal?
Well, first of all, we should recognize that we have some market failures. And this means that, and this gives the possibility, or there are some arguments, at least some economic arguments, for a state intervention. When I say market failures, I mean, for instance, negative externalities. This means that the price that we are paying for energy and energy services, the prices do not reflect all costs. The social costs, the environmental costs are not included. Then another very important market failures that we have in when we are talking on efficiency in the residential sector is also asymmetric information or incomplete information on the market. And then also you have the principal agent problem. This means that landlords and tenants, they do not have the same objective when they are talking on reduction or investing in energy efficiency. For this reason, the state can intervene. And then, of course, there is a bunch of instruments. You have on one side more market-oriented instruments, such as taxes or subsidies and so on. On the other side, the non-market-oriented instruments, such as the imposition of standards and labels and so on. And what I think we can learn from our studies is that when households have to decide to invest or not to invest in energy efficiency appliances or in the energy efficient renovation of the houses, they are not really always rational. They do not have always all information. They do not perform an investment analysis. This means that what we suggest, and I think this is an important point, is before giving any subsidy, a subsidy to a household in order to perform energy saving renovation of the house, we should first inform the households on the technology, on the possibilities that are available, and then help the household to perform an investment analysis. Because maybe, given all information and giving the results of this investment analysis, then the household will perform anyway the energy-saving renovation of the house. Only in case where we see that there is some discrepancy or difference, or the results of the investment analysis not so clear, then of course you can give a subsidy. But before, we should inform people, give tools to do an investment analysis, and then eventually subsidize. I think this is very important because people, of course, it's not easy to do an investment analysis. When you are renovating a house, you are taking a decision that will influence the energy consumption for the next 30 years. So it's very difficult to do an investment analysis. We have what we call also in economics a kind of bounded rationality. And therefore, the state should help first with some information campaign, with some tools, with some consultancy, the households to take decisions. And then intervene with, eventually with subsidies. But first of all, of course, introduce ecological tax reform, because the price should reflect all costs. This is the first thing to do. And then you can adopt a mixture of market-oriented and non-market-oriented policy instruments.
A last question, if you wish. Where do you rank Spain in an energy efficiency scale? And is it a good student in this term in Europe?
Well, what we learn from our studies that we have performed at the OECD level and also at the European level is that Spain performed relatively well in terms of energy efficiency. We saw also from the statistics that the Spanish governments in the past, they introduced several energy policy measures that promote the efficiency in the residential sector, mostly non-market oriented, like standard energy performance standards for building and so on. And this is what we can learn from our studies.
Thank you very much, Professor Massimo Filippini, and for this brief and enlightening answers. Thank you.